your time. Really appreciate it. How's things on your end at the moment?
Yeah, all good. Just it's actually sunny here for once. The sun's actually out.
That's good. Yeah, we're in the middle of winter, or just about to start winter over in our end. So yeah, I guess we're getting a bit of the UK weather, I suppose.
Yeah. We'll be back to winter tomorrow.
Yeah. I've been a fan of you guys for quite some time, actually, since the first album came out many years ago. But you guys have obviously had quite a bit of a sort of interesting last few years, I guess. It's sort of a bit of a change in lineups and things like that. Has that been sort of difficult to deal with at all, or?
I wouldn't say difficult. I just I'm at the point now where I kind of just roll with it, and if something goes wrong or needs sorting, I just try and get it sorted as soon as possible, and then move on.
Yeah. I mean, obviously the new album that just came out recently, fantastic stuff as always. I mean, you guys seem to always sort of hit it out the ballpark, so to speak. This obviously was a long time coming as well. It was quite a number of years before the last album came out. How was that? At what point did you start sort of writing material for this new album?
When I rejoined the band in 2018, I think it was around October of that year, because the band hadn't done anything for about 5 years prior. I just said, look, we have to get new music out as soon as possible. So started writing, and I think we finished the music mid 2019. And then it was just a case of waiting for the vocals and the lyrics, but therein lied the next problem, that Matt didn't have time. Yeah. And we waited about a year, and then Matt left, and then everything else,
I mean, obviously that's a question that pops up in every conversation that I've had, is the COVID stuff. How much of an impact did that have on you guys as far as the recording and the release?
The recording itself, it had an impact because we recorded at Andy Sneap's studio in Derbyshire, but it was in the middle of the lockdown. So only a few of us could be there, me and Ben. We had to keep our distance and everything. It was really weird. We couldn't go out anywhere. We couldn't go out for a drink after recording or anything. It was just kind of stay in the studio and watch TV. It was just weird.
Yeah.
And the COVID actually helped us in the sense that, so we obviously couldn't do anything. So it gave me a chance to re-listen to all the material for like a whole year. And usually what we do is we release an album, and then 3 months later, I will listen to a song and think, shit, I should have changed that. This time, I kind of released it in my head, if you know what I mean, because it was like, right, I can listen to it now, it's done. And it allowed me to change all these small details over the course of a year. So it really helped.
Yeah, obviously sitting with these songs for quite a long time, it gives you a bit of a different perspective as opposed to some of the previous albums that you'd released in the past.
Yeah, it really did, especially because even Incarcerated, the third song, the verses on that song were always, I think they were halftime. So it was just kind of like slow paced. And me and Ben were just talking all the time, like, why does this song suck? Like, what's wrong with it? There's something that sucks. And it was like 2 weeks before going in the studio, we decided, let's change the drums in the verse to a thrash beat. And as soon as we did that, the entire song made more sense. And it was just like, right, okay.
For obviously sitting, with these songs for quite some time, did that make you a little bit sort of nervous as to how the songs would sort of sit, after a while, or like nervous as far as the reaction, things like that at all, or?
That didn't really come into our minds, because our goal was to release the most aggressive, heavy, fastest album we'd ever done. So the goal wasn't to try and sit in with the rest of the discography. It was to try and beat the discography, like make a statement with the new album. And I think we achieved that.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to say, because as I said, I'm quite familiar with a lot of your back catalogue stuff, and this is definitely the most aggressive and heaviest album you guys have put out. What was the inspiration behind that sort of aggressive feel to it?
I think it had a lot to do with the fact that there'd been no music for 5 to 8 years, and we were just angry, I guess, because we wanted to get out there, we wanted to play again, and we thought we don't want to come back and be all progressive and like clever and intricate. We were just like, let's just punch people in the face with music and just get back out there. So I think it was an amalgamation of being angry about it being so long and also wanting to just make a bold statement.
Yeah, I mean, you've definitely done that and achieved that definitely with this new record. As I said, it's definitely got that real sort of thrashy feel, but at the same time, I feel like there's some almost death metal elements in there a little bit. It sort of creeps in there every once in a while.
Yeah, I said this on a previous interview just now. It's not intentional. It's because I love thrash and I love death metal. I think I just kind of naturally merge them together with my playing. So when I'm writing a riff, I don't think I'll make it a bit more death metal. It's just I kind of have that crunch feel in my riffs that I just really like putting in there.
And
I do love death metal.
Yeah, well, same here. I mean, I love that sort of heavier, sort of brutal sort of sound. But there's a few interesting other aspects of this album as well, which I want to touch on. I mean, first of all, this is the first album that you guys, you are personally doing some vocals on as well, taking over that spot. What was that like, sort of going into, have you done that kind of stuff before, or?
No, it was fully in the deep end. I've sung before. I can sing, I can sing clean, I can sing heavy, but I can't do it healthily. So like when I was doing the demo vocals, I could taste blood, and for like 2 days, my voice was like, and I really did some damage. So it's been a case of just learning how to do it properly and not damage anything. But I didn't enjoy it at first because I was just like, what the hell am I doing? But I found my feet now. It's not as daunting anymore.
But did you find it as a sort of newfound appreciation for vocalists and things like that?
Yeah, well, there's a newfound appreciation for what Matt did, because I knew Matt was a great singer, but to sing like he sang every night on the number of gigs we did is like, I take my hat off to him. It was really, really impressive, just knowing what goes into taking care of your voice and singing for an hour and a half every night without doing any damage, so you can do it the next night. It's really complicated.
Yeah, definitely. Have you been talking to sort of other vocalists at all as far as tips and things like that?
Yes, some, but mainly Chris Clancy, the producer, really helped me in the studio. And to be frank, he saved the album, because we were in there for 2 weeks, and the first week we did 5 songs worth of vocals, and we listened back to it, and it was really bad. It was really bad. And we worked together, and he found my technique that I should use. And as soon as he heard it, it was like, we've got it. That's how you do it. And I was so thankful to him, because I don't think we'd have released the album if it sounded like it did. And I've been getting some lessons from Melissa Cross as well, which has really helped, like beyond imagine, if that's a word, beyond imagine. I don't know.
Yeah,
really.
Speaking of vocals, this is a very sort of I gotta ask, Brian Posehn does a backing vocal guest spot on the song Gore. How did that all come about?
He did backing vocals on our song Cult in 2011, which it wasn't really advertised, so not a lot of people know that he did that. But someone sent me a screenshot of the Sarah Silverman show over in America, and it was Brian wearing an Evile shirt on TV, and we were like, what the hell? So I just got speaking to him. He's a really nice guy, obviously a big fan of metal, and he liked Evile. And this time around, I just sent him an email saying, do you want to shout the word gore for us 20 times, and we'll put it in the song? And he said, yeah. But it was never meant to be like a headline or a news item, but it became one, and it was like featuring Brian Posehn, and everyone thinks like, where is he? I can't hear him. It's like, he's on backing vocals.
Yeah, because obviously he's known for his comedic sort of stuff, but obviously, like you mentioned, very well known for loving some heavy metal and things like that as well. Were you looking to have someone do a guest spot in that song in any way, or was it just sort of like a spur of the moment kind of thing?
Yeah, it was just, I think we were actually in the studio. in the studio maybe, or just before the studio. We were talking about how he did backing vocals on Cult, and we thought, why don't we just ask him again? We don't really, I don't know why, but we just don't overly like having guests on the album. I think we like to keep everything in-house as much as possible. But the odd little thing here and there I think is cool, but I don't think we'll do anything much more than that ever.
Yeah, yeah. And the other thing I wanted to ask quickly is the cover of Mortician's Zombie Apocalypse. Now, you've never done or recorded a cover song before, right? This is the first time?
Oh, we haven't on an album. We've never put one on an album. We've done a few for like magazines and B-sides. I think we've done Metallica Through the Never. We even did a Nirvana song for Kerrang. Maybe something. Oh, Entombed. We did Drowned by Entombed.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've never done anything exclusively like for an album. So this is definitely the first one. Yeah.
And what made you decide to not only put a cover song on the album, but this particular song as well?
Well, a lot of the time labels want a B-side or something extra just to put on like a bonus edition or something. So I thought, let's do a cover. But we didn't want to do something typical like Metallica or, you know, Testament. So we thought, let's do something death metal. And that song instantly came to mind because the riff is just so good. And when we spoke to the label, we said, oh, what do you want for the B-side? And they said, oh, we don't, just do the album. We're like, oh, right. Right, well, let's just put it on the album. It was simple, as simple as that.
Yeah. Are they a band that has any kind of influence on you at all, or?
On me, yeah. I used to love, I'm a big fan of old death metal, like, you know, the old Cannibal Corpse, Dayside, Obituary, and Mortician were a band that I loved as well. And a lot of my friends who were into death metal was like, oh, no, don't listen to Mortician. I didn't understand. A lot of my friends were like, they didn't get Mortician, but I loved it. And Zombie Apocalypse was just one of the songs that's always stuck with me. Like I always play it at sound check or just sat at home. If I pick up the guitar, one of the first things I play is Zombie Apocalypse. So it just made sense to do it.
Yeah, definitely. So how did you actually get into playing music, and how did you get into sort of like the heavier kind of side of music?
My dad played guitar in the 60s and 70s. When we were kids, he would, like, you know, play the Batman theme tune for us and stuff like that. And I think it was kind of ingrained in us when we were kids. But my brother, Matt, I think he got some classical lessons as a kid. And then he picked it up again in his teens. And then he was listening to Metallica in his bedroom while I didn't really understand music. I just listened to what was ever on the radio. And I just thought, when I heard Metallica, I just thought, what the hell is this? You know, the singer's shouting and the music's all loud. And then as I got a bit older, I just started to understand it a bit more. So I'd steal his guitar now and then and try and learn some of the songs and steal his albums and listen to them. So it was definitely my brother that got me into heavy music.
Oh, okay. Who do you consider to be your sort of biggest influence on particularly your guitar playing?
I always say it's two main guitarists, no, three. James and Kirk from Metallica made me want to play guitar, but the main guitarist who made me want to get good at guitar is Jeff Waters from Annihilator.
Oh, nice one. Cool.
When I heard him play, it's just, I instantly wanted to know how to do that and how to write that and just learn everything about it. So I spent a good 8 years learning. Yeah, 8 years learning Annihilator stuff. And I learned pretty much everything I know from Annihilator.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Annihilator and Jeff Waters in particular. He's such in my opinion, an underrated guitar player that doesn't seem to get enough recognition amongst other guitar players.
Yeah, I don't get it. Annihilator and he should be way bigger than they are. He's, in my opinion, one of, if not the best metal guitarist there is.
Yeah, definitely. Have you had a chance to meet with him or play with the Annihilator at all? Or
yeah, I met him when I was maybe 18 or 19. He let me on the tour bus. I was just some kid then. It was just like, oh my God, it's Jeff. And then I just got to know him through, like message boards and MySpace. And I've met him since, seen him live since, and yeah, he's really cool. I talk to him now and then. He's just really, it's bizarre to kind of know the guy who influenced me so heavily. It's weird.
So what now for Evile? I mean, obviously touring's a little bit sort of risky at the moment, but have you got any plans for like later in the year at all, or?
Yeah, we've got some festivals booked, Bloodstock in the UK and some others, but I'm just hoping that they happen. You know, we have no concrete plans beyond this year because we still don't know. We can't confirm. You know, things might change. So we're looking at a UK tour at the start of next year, and beyond that, we're just waiting for our agent to tell us we're good to go. You know, on other things. So it's just a waiting game at the moment. Just crossing our fingers.
I mean, it's, I guess once things open up again, I think everyone's just going to be just completely berserk about it. You know, everyone's going to go nuts for live shows again.
Yeah, definitely. But I hope that berserkness doesn't cause, you know, more problems with, you know, I just hope it goes away soon, or it gets managed soon.
Yeah, definitely. Well, look, congratulations on the new album. As I said, it's killer stuff, and look, I've been a fan for you guys for a long time. So, look, I really appreciate your time, and look, hopefully, maybe one day, I don't know, we'll see how we go, but we'd love to have you down in Australia.
We've tried for years. We've tried really hard, and hopefully, this album is the one that can get us down there. So, if anyone does like what they hear, please buy a copy of the CD or the vinyl. It really helps in many ways to help us get down there.